When is Saudi Arabia National Day? Since pre-Islamic times, the Saudi Arabia Peninsula have been occupied by the nomadic tribes. The Islam prophet Muhammad united these tribes to create a single Islamic religious state. In the years of the following his death in 1632, the territory under the Muslim rule rapidly expanded across the Middle East, from Spain in west to the modern day of Pakistan in the east. In the 16th century, the region first came under the control of Ottoman Empire, and two various sultanates would be formed from time to time. It wasn't until the collapse of Ottoman Empire at the end of the World War One that modern Saudi Arabia emerged. Saudi Arabian National Day is always celebrated on 23rd September, known locally as Al-Yawm ul-Watana. It marks 23 September of 1932, when the King Abdulaziz announced the unification of the country as a kingdom. Oil was discovered in Saudi Arabia. Before 1938, Saudi Arabia was known as the primary for two things. It bought settlers and as the home of the two Islam holy cities. A California-based company discovered a commercially viable source of petroleum in Narahana. That year, after 4 years of searching, completely altered geopolitics, international global influence, and economy. This find 7 years after prospectors discovered the commercial quantity of oil in Iran and 9 years after it found in Iraq, would make Saudi Arabia one of the world's richest and most significant economic powers. The commercials for oil production started at the start of the World War II. The money from the oil helped the country provide free health care for everyone and education while not collecting taxes to pay for it. In 1998, the country's oil income dropped by 40% because of the worldwide decline in prices. The courtesy Aramco War. Until about 900s, the centers of Islamic power remained in the Fertile Crescent of the semicircle of the Fertile and land stretching from a southeast Mediterranean coast around the Syrian desert north of the Arabian Peninsula to the Persian Gulf and linking with the Arabian heartland. After the ninth century, however, the most significant political centers moved farther and farther away to Egypt and India, as well as to what is to know Turkey and Central Asian republics. In actually, Bidari eventually followed political power, and as a result, Islamic civilization was no longer centered in Mecca and Medina in the Hijaz. Economic part. The Eastern province serves as the backbone of the Saudi economy, being one of the world's largest reservoirs of the crude oil and gas. It is oil and gas which have transformed the structure of the economy of this region since 1930s. These resources have provided stimulus for a major breakthrough in a non-oil industrial development, especially centered around the Hudal city, which has a strong petrochemical base, and Daman, which boasts and two flourishing industrial cities consisting of hundreds of downstream units. The province has attracted a large dose of foreign capital and technology, thanks to the top-class infrastructure like transport, communications, power, and our ability of abundant raw of materials, and other favorable factors like well-developed banking and finance facilities. The Saudi government's liberal economic policy incentivize for the private sector have further encouraged the growth in the province. The province has thrived under these conditions, with its living standards equally comparable to those industrially developed countries. The market is flourishing. For automobiles, modern household appliances, entertainment, industrial products, and interior hardware and software, healthcare, education, and luxury articles to top international standards. The scope for further economic development in the province not big, especially for joint ventures and foreign direct investments. Industries and services alike provide new visits opportunities for further investments. United Nations relations with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia follows the rules of international law by not involving in wars and contributing to the world economy by supplying oil. This is how Saudi Arabia became a member of the United Nations in 1955. One of my points of my delegation is international cooperation on combating terrorism. Another is to report a special command to investigate illegal practice affecting the human rights of the Palestinian people and another Arabs of the occupied terrorism. These points my delegation made it in New York in 21 of October of 2014.